This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Pop over to ease.com, spelled EAZE, to find out if your part of the Golden State is allowing for legal cannabis delivery. Ease has spent a lot of time baking all of California's various rules and regulations for legal cannabis delivery right into their system, so you know you'll always be on the right side of state law when you place an order through ease.com. And because Ease is so picky about which partner dispensaries they choose to work with in their active areas, you know you're only going to find top quality products at great prices over at ease.com. And once you've placed your order for legal cannabis delivery at ease.com, pop over to ease.com/blog to read all of the various bits of industry insight and analysis put together by the Ease team using their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. That's ease.com and ease.com/blog. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, April 4th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 461 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day starts us off in Massachusetts, where the state's Cannabis Control Commission started accepting this week applications for opening up legal adult use marijuana dispensaries. As I reported on Monday, this first round of applications is limited to existing medical dispensary license holders, as well as folks who qualify under the state's Economic Empowerment Program, which opens up opportunities to people from communities that have been traditionally the most negatively affected by the government's war on cannabis. As WBUR is reporting, the Cannabis Control Commission say that 218 applications were started online as of Monday, of which 129 were from economic empowerment applicants and 89 from existing license holders. Of those in-process applications, 22 were already finished and submitted for consideration. This is a storyline we'll obviously stay on top of. Bouncing a couple of state borders up to my corner of the country here in Maine, we find some progress on the efforts to pass a bill opening up legal adult use sales as mandated by voters in 2016. This is another long-running storyline as Maine's Republican Governor Paul LePage and his cronies in the state government have blocked and dragged out legislative efforts to pass any kind of marijuana legislation. The Portland Press Herald is reporting that a legislative committee voted yesterday on changes to proposed adult use legislation that would require 4 years of Maine residency for anyone hoping to get a marijuana business license. The new bill eliminates entirely the idea of social use clubs, which was passed by ballot initiative 2 years ago, and cuts the number of plants allowed in home grow from 6 to 3. State Senator Roger Katz, a Republican from Augusta who chairs the Legislative Marijuana Committee, said the proposed measure is ready to go before the full state house for deliberation. This is a good one to open up in full. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. New Cannabis Ventures has a new edition of a helpful series they've been running that looks at some of the numbers behind California's legal adult use and medical marijuana program. This latest piece, written by Ed Keating, Chief Data Officer at Cannabiz Media, pulls apart some details for California cannabis business licenses, which already comprise nearly 35% of the total number of American licensed marijuana businesses. Ed does a good job in showing the quick rise in the number of license holders, as well as the relative breakdown of categories like cultivators, dispensers, extractors, and distributors. Another excellent one to click over to. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it in headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. With things in legal cannabis being as new as they still are in the Golden State, and with the industry still having a lot of fresh, chaotic energy in terms of licensing and standards and testing, it's nice to know that there's a place you can go online to order legal marijuana products for delivery that meet all applicable state laws. When you place an order through ease.com, you can rest assured that you're only going to find products that are tested and packaged correctly and that have all the things in them that say they do and don't have all the things in them that they say they don't, like harmful pesticides and herbicides. don't do any legal marijuana delivery business, but anyone but the best, most compliant company. In California, that's an easy choice. You just go to eaze.com, spelled EAZE. And don't forget, you can zip open ease.com/blog to read all their industry insight and analysis, as well as to read more about their philanthropic activities, which include the donation of $1 million over 3 years to various Bay Area nonprofits working to make the world a more just and equal place. One more time, that's ease.com and ease.com/blog. All right, time for the Blitz. A quick update out of Tennessee, where yesterday I reported on a proposed bill legalizing medical marijuana that was headed to the floor of the state Senate for consideration. Sadly, that piece of legislation has been withdrawn by its main sponsor, Republican Senator Steve Dickerson, who says his bill was amended into a form that would actually not be helpful for Tennessee medical marijuana patients. Up in Alaska, the state's Marijuana Control Board is starting 3 days of meetings today and is reportedly picking back up discussions on allowing for legal marijuana public social use. This has been a long-running storyline for the state, as initial plans to allow businesses to open up space for customers to consume cannabis were first shelved amid fears of a federal government crackdown led by a hostile Trump administration. As some of those fears have eased as Trump has been overwhelmed by his own woeful incompetence and traitorous corruption, it appears that control board members feel okay enough to revisit the idea. This is another one we'll be watching. Lawmakers in the state of Maryland appear to be close to passing a piece of legislation expanding their state's medical marijuana program with the issuing of new business licenses. In a day full of long-running storylines, this one joins the list, as Maryland has been bogged down for years now by controversies over how it initially gave out its medical marijuana business licenses, with charges of institutional racism following the issuing of licenses to mostly white-owned applicant teams in a state where African Americans make up 30% of the population. This one is a deep story with lots of details, so I'd open it up for the full read. According to a new poll just released yesterday by the University of Michigan Institute for Healthcare Policy and Innovation, 80% of poll respondents between the ages of 50 and 80 think medical marijuana should be legal, with half that number agreeing to the same proposition for adult use cannabis. The poll was conducted nationwide and also found that just under 1 in 5 respondents knows someone who uses medical marijuana. There's a lot more insight to be found in the results, so add this one to your list to open up. In New Hampshire, a proposed bill to expand the number of licensed medical marijuana dispensaries from 4 to 6 is set to be taken up for consideration by the State House after surviving an initial pass through the state Senate. If passed into law, Senate Bill 388 would help expand patient access by allowing for dispensaries to be opened up in areas where people now have to drive up to 70 miles or more to get their medicine. The Hemp Gazette is reporting that New York State announced this week the granting of licenses to more than 60 new hemp cultivators and other businesses under a pilot program that only saw 20 do the same last year. In all, 3,500 acres of hemp will be planted in New York this year, up from 2,000 acres last year. An important detail is that there are now 18 licensed processing companies in the state, which is important in a business where it can be illegal to ship your raw materials over state lines. And finally for today, we wrap up in the Bay State, where Democratic gubernatorial candidate Jay Gonzalez said he thinks Massachusetts medical marijuana patients should be covered under health insurance plans. Specifically, Mr. Gonzalez said that people living with addiction issues should have some of the costs of medical marijuana treatment covered by healthcare plans. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in to starting your day with Marijuana Today.
One take, Shay. One take.